Oh, hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Book Club.
Good day.
Hold on, I am hearing a second noise. Dang it, I forgot to mute my stream. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, it wouldn't be the start of my stream without Tracy doing something bonkers or me being completely absent-minded. What are you doing?
For me, Mr. Bond.
He's Blofeld.
Oh, that's what Blofeld does? Or is
Yeah.
that like okay.
Well, most of the time he has a
In
cat.
the movies he does anyway.
Yeah, in the movies he has a cat. So
Wow. All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome to Book Club episode something. I think it's episode 3 or 2.
Yep.
3.
Episode 2, no 2 of yeah, because we did. No, it might be 3. No, it's 2. It's a number. So I'm not going to argue with myself anymore, and I'm just going to.
It's 3.
Thank you. What? Oh, did I write 3 on the thing? Oh, I hope
I don't know. I don't ever keep up. I don't ever keep up with episodes. I'm just
it
on
is
here.
episode.
Well, this is 3.
Welcome into Book Club. We're here, and that's all you need to know. So
We're doing another recap of chapter 4.
we are
we're
not,
going back to chapter 4. I missed it.
Yeah.
not
Chapter 4. Chapter 4.
That's right. That's right. Tracy missed it. We need to go back over
Chapter
it.
4. Chapter 4.
No.
I'm sure he has
Humbug.
I'm sure he has a unique perspective on it.
Oh gosh, I know. Imagine. Oh gosh, I can't imagine last week's stream with Tracy and his commentary because that. Okay. Welcome in. I'm going to welcome the chat. I am not focused. Okay. Welcome to Book Club. Today we are going to be discussing James Bond, Ian
Chapter 4.
Fleming, on Her Majesty's magic carpet or something. I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
Just Tracy being here's got her.
There you go.
Seriously. Okay. Let's get to chat. Rhonda, welcome in. Annie Coog, welcome in. Tracy Glenn, welcome in. Double time. Let's see. Tim Pruitt, welcome in. Double time. Kenzie Days, welcome in.
Did you read Kenzie's?
Why is
Yeah.
he is.
She
Kenzie,
knows her dad.
we don't ever know the answer to that question when it comes to your father. So we just go with it, I think.
Dude, could you do me a favor? Just for me.
What?
Could you say, Luke, I am your father?
Gosh. I say it like everyone else.
No, you didn't. You just said father.
Oh my god. Oh, settle down, Luke. Settle down. Where am I?
Or say kerfuffle.
Kerfluffle.
Yeah,
I love
kerfluffle.
kerfluffle. I was saying that all day on Tuesday. Not Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Saturday. I lost track of my
Kerfluffle.
day. Kerfluffle. Kerfluffle. Okay, I better move on. I think that's it. I've gotten everybody. I've reached the end of the chat. Lord have mercy if anybody else comes in. I'm saying a prayer now. Okay.
No, Kenz, you will not be doing this like me.
Well, you're 1 degree off, Kenzie, so you can either be worse or better. It just depends. But you've also got half your mom's DNA, so how do you classify her? They might neutralize out.
I can't say that on stream. I'm joking. Billy's a wonderful woman.
I didn't say she wasn't.
Right? Yeah, that's what she told me.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
a wonderful woman.
You're getting the broom from Kenzie, I feel like, at any point in time. She says she calls herself Tracy 2.0, which means she's better.
She's the improved model then.
Oh, gosh. All right, guys.
The improved software.
Last week, if you missed, you should go back and watch. It was pretty good. This week, we're doing chapters 6, 7, and 8. And I will probably screw that up throughout this stream because I am not good with numbers today. Monarch Moments, welcome in, Garrett. All right.
Morning, Garrett.
Or
afternoon.
It's 3:00. It just turned noontime for him.
Yep, it works.
He's eating lunch, listening to us talk about books.
Yeah, it's not going to be
book.
me this week, Garrett. So don't get your hopes up.
What did you say?
It's not going to be as steamy. So don't get your hopes up.
Oh, Garrett, don't worry. We're going back to chapter 4 before we're done. Chapter 4. Chapter 4.
Oh. Shelly Starwalker, welcome in.
Hey, Shelly.
My friend. Okay. Chapter 6. I keep saying chapter 7. Chapter 6. We open up with, and I completely forgot already. Who wants to take it away?
So it's 2 months later.
All right.
London.
First off, I just read up to this, so let's go back to the beginning, or let's just go to chapter 4. I'm
you
joking.
are not gonna quit, are you?
No, that's fine. All right. Go ahead, Russ. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I did mean to interrupt you, but
I did, but I
He
didn't.
didn't.
I'm trying to be nice about it backwards. Hindsight's 2020.
But yeah, it's 2 months later after chapter 5, after he met Draco. So he's back in England. He's driving to work, and he's thinking about what's going on with Station Z, who is the Switzerland station. And he's waiting for information on Blofeld because everything that they've tried to do and ask about, the government's getting in the way. Certain other officials are getting in the way. And so they obviously assume that Blofeld has paid them off to stay hidden. And so because of the whole Swiss government thing and their anonymity throughout the, countries and things with crime and stuff, there's loopholes that he has to try and find in order to get to Blofeld, in order to get information and even to go arrest him. So that's what they're trying to do now, is they're trying to figure out how they can get to Blofeld now that they know where he is. Or they know that he's in Switzerland. And so he even considers calling Draco, but he's kind of afraid to do that because he doesn't really want to rekindle the whole Tracy thing yet. So
Meanwhile,
That's not you, Tracy.
Could we just go and just call her Teresa by her real name?
so at this point he's driving in his car going to
he's going to work.
Yard.
work.
Work.
In Scotland Yard. Sorry, something just caught my eye in chat. Garrett said, "Hi, it's Tim, Tracy, Tina, and Tuss." Oh, sorry, I got carried away with the T's.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
Well, and I told him though that my first name's Timothy also, so it works.
That's right. I forgot about that. I should know that when I get packages from you. It says it right on there. It's not like I'm not. Tina and the Dirty Bunch are able to make vegetables steamy. Haha, get it? Thanks, Garrett. Thanks. So he's driving to work, and so he's got more flashbacks going on in his head. So we actually get to see what happens before the 2 months. Okay, words are not my forte today. When he went back and had that date with her, as Draco suggested, and I was hoping that we would, because when we started the chapter, I was like, "But what happened?"
Well, exactly what said happened. They had dinner, and they did what they did in chapter 4, but more lovingly.
Yes, exactly that.
Maybe less detail.
And agreed to say goodbye, and but
Potentially.
of course, Bond told her a lie,
which she's got to. He's a spy.
Yeah. Well, I know.
That's his business.
Why did I think at the beginning of the book he actually told her his real identity? I think I got that misthinking on that one.
No, she doesn't know who he is.
But her father does, because
Draco does.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay. All right, carry on.
They're playing it off. They're playing it off that he is an associate of Draco's.
Yeah.
And that he had to go on business to America.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they're talking. And of course, this is a little bit further on in the chapter, but they talk about how he's been writing letters, but they're coming from an American address.
And
things like that. The thing before we got to that, the thing that made me laugh was the thing about the syncophone. Did you ever read that and see that? Which
is just a fancy name for a beeper.
Exactly. They were talking about how it was like some new technology that he had a beeper.
It was 1963, correct?
Oh yeah, I know, but I just thought it was fun.
Yeah, and it has a 10-mile radius. Like you have to you're only going to be able to page to people that are like working 10 miles from home base. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't caught in the chat, Tina, the people are asking us not to call him Draco because they're all confusing him with Draco Malfoy. I mean,
I call him the Mafia Boss. That's what I call him because I can't pronounce his name.
It's easier to say than Mark Ange. I mean, we can call him Mark Ange, but that's his name. But
yeah.
I love that so much.
But his last name's Draco, so
yeah.
And that's the way he goes. That's the way they call him in the movies as well. So
yeah.
Just remember, this isn't Harry Potter.
Might be hard to do, but
because there is no chapter 4 in Harry Potter.
There's an unwritten chapter 4 in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I misspoke. True.
Because at the end of the last book,
is that red wine?
There's a couple of kids at the last book, so there's a chapter 4 somewhere.
True.
I'm drinking iced tea. I'm just pretending it's wine so I can get through this with Tracy.
All of a sudden, I'm the bad guy.
Well, that's what happens when you miss one of the steamiest book clubs that we've ever had.
Well, there are more chapters.
Wait, what?
It is Bond.
And this is a Bond book.
True.
So you know that there's more coming.
I mean, there has to be something at the end, if nothing else. Well, I know how it ends, so.
I hadn't thought of that. I did think of it, but I didn't.
This one's a little different.
Right. Well, I mean, I was going to say the next thing after the syncophone, he has to stop and call the office, and it's Goodnight. And they talk about how Goodnight is the new secretary.
A hot secretary, because they give her dimensions. I mean,
yeah.
Right.
Is that what I thought that's what that was.
And they talk about how that there's basically a pool out as to like a 5-pound turret.
Pretty much. There had a pool out who was going to shag her. Period.
Between 006 and 006, between he and 006.
The office pool was bet even that either 006 or 007 is going to shag her.
Yeah. But it does say that Bond backs out because of Tracy. So
Teresa.
Well, Tracy.
That's how I read it.
Or Eve, as Shelley put in the chat. Eve. Tracy's new name.
Look, Russ frozen in mid-laughter.
Oh, Russ will take his hands off.
Is it back yet?
Oh, yep, there we go.
All right.
Russ, do you ever... Who's secretary? I mean, Moneypenny is still M's secretary.
That is
right. Right. So I mean, is Midnight, Goodnight, which is another name that comes up later, I might add. Is she is Bond's secretary?
Yes.
I didn't really I mean, he never really had a secretary in movies. He was always
Goodnight does show up in
Man with the Golden Gun.
Well, she's in a couple of them as kind of the other secretary.
Oh, okay.
She's under Moneypenny, so that's kind of where her character comes in. I'm trying to think. I watched one the other night, and she was in it. I forget. It was the first time she was in it.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember which one I watched though, because there's so many.
Well, I watched a bunch of them over the winter because in December there was a channel that ran Bond movies all month long. So
right.
But I didn't catch. I hadn't picked up on that before. I just remembered the Goodnight that was in Golden Gun. What are you laughing at?
Annie hit the target.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is.
Absolutely. Actually, no.
Shelley, it was actually 37, 24, 36.
Yeah.
I
was just
I think it was 37, 22, 36.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have the numbers right here.
Wow.
Well, I have the page open. I mean, I didn't just.
Yeah, she read it like a couple times.
God.
37, 22, 35.
Garrett wants to know what she's wearing.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
He's wearing
come on.
a red polo and khakis.
When did this turn into like, the smut station? I can't.
Well, I was
even
gonna say that so Bond, has backed out, but he still flirts with her.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
What I thought was okay.
so
ahead.
there's this whole thing where he's like, well, good morning, good night. They have that kind of a joke there.
Right.
I have a little bit of a theory. Because when has it been like Bond? And okay, I've never read the book. So from the movies, when has it ever been like Bond to shy away from a woman, even if he's courting?
Well, yeah,
another woman, right?
But here's the thing:
special woman.
This is if I'm not mistaken, even in the movies, Bond does get married.
Right.
This is the case.
So what happens is this is the one time that Bond actually wants a commitment.
Right.
What happens to her turns him into the.
And this is the third. Yeah, exactly. It makes him more permission, like that he is later. This is number 3, right? This is actually the 3rd book, if I recall.
I think.
This is like book number 11.
It's 11.
Okay. Well, that's pretty deep into it. Then I thought it was a little closer to the front.
So, my theory is confirmed that this is after he lost his wife, right?
No, this is still before.
That's coming up.
This is that story, Tina.
Never mind. My theory debunked. Okay. I can't say what I want to say. So.
What do you want to say? Did you want to call him? You were going to call him a man.
I can see that. I was going to what?
You were going to call him a man.
What?
I can't say it on your stream.
Oh, say it out loud. No, what I was going to say was,
I know what you meant.
If this was after, I don't. Well, we can discuss that after. I thought if this was after him losing his wife, his need to want to and desire to want to protect her comes from the fact that he lost his wife because she was. So that's what I was thinking because I had no clue. Okay,
this is just Bond
being Bond
because he does have a caring side. He's got he sees something he can take care of, and that's right.
Well, he's
protective
also
that way.
I think this is also when you're reading the beginning of this chapter and the beginning of this book. This is also at the point in time he's actually contemplating his future. He's already drafted a letter of resignation, which he never follows through with when he meets Teresa.
Well, he's on a mission after this. So,
but what I'm saying is when he meets Teresa, he's actually looking to leave that life that he was living.
Gotcha.
So for him, I think when you're looking at it, Teresa represents the life he could have had without the Secret Service, without the MIS or the, so MI5. So that's where I think when he sees Teresa, he sees what he could have without this life. And unfortunately, he's still Bond. So
I'm sorry. I just noticed Garrett's comment.
Well, I want to know where Jake from State Farms comes in. I didn't read him in this book at all.
Well, somebody asked what he was wearing. I said red polo and khakis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going back to the conversation on the phone, she tells him that he needs to go to the College of Arms and look for Griffin Orr.
Or what?
Or what? Exactly. That's kind of a joke there too.
Right.
He's a funny guy.
He's trying to be cute, and get her, excuse me, get her to giggle,
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a dedicated employee there. That he Griffin Orr is focused. Let me just put it that way.
Oh my God!
It reminds me like you go to a library. Because it's basically what this is. It's a library of all the family histories of Britain and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And, they deal with the high society people all the time. And so they're very focused on their job and their, But we also learn later on in the next chapter that really they're doing it because they get paid a lot to do that. So
Yeah.
but no, so he goes and he sees that he finds Griffin Orr, and he's more interested in telling Bond his family history and doing research, trying to connect the dots and make him to where he's he's a noble, and he's connected to Bond Street, which is in London, and Bond could care less. There was another little dirty joke in there, if you remember, about Bond's coat of arms.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really, Garrett? Sorry.
Did you not catch the joke, Tina?
No.
I'll be right.
He goes, "Here's the coat of arms, and it has 3 round balls." And he goes, "Well, having an extra one would be sufficient, or something to that effect."
Would be helpful or something.
Yeah, it would be helpful. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh gosh.
Hang on just a
Chris,
minute.
Dad Bills, welcome in. Okay. Yeah, Chris, it's not too late to join if you're able.
Yeah. Well, we're just now finishing up chapter 6.
I know it took us literally a half hour. So.
Well, I'm back, so I probably drag everything right down to the gutter. I guess that's what you're accusing me of.
We also hear the Bond family motto, which is "The world is not enough,"
Which becomes a movie.
Becomes a title of a movie later on, which has something to do. That movie has something to do with his family, and so that's kind of where that goes. But basically, Bond tells him to shut up and tell him about Blofeld, and of course Griffin gets annoyed, but then mentions the name, and this name is hilarious to me. Savile Basilisk is who he's looking for.
Which I think is funny because you know what basilisk means. It's another word. It's another word for snake.
Well, true.
So I'm already a little weary about this guy.
All right, I'm fuzzy. I'm going out and coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, it keeps coming and going on Tracy's.
Yeah. All right, Russ, keep talking. I have to mute myself for a second.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm taking over.
Well, a basilisk is a snake type creature, which is a snake. I mean, we see this. Anybody who knows what Harry Potter knows what a basilisk is.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, Chris.
Howdy,
Hey, Chris.
Now you have to watch what you say, Tracy.
I was trying to help
Listen, Dad, Chris never clips me, so I'm fine.
That's right.
He doesn't have one clip of me. I'm unclippable.
That's right, Tracy. I've got about 3.
What?
No one is safe.
No.
So that's the end of chapter 6.
So now we go back to chapter 4. Then we're going to check.
Tracy, who taught you how to count?
We go right into chapter 7.
I went to my local high school. I count 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, 4.
Seems to be a pattern here, I see.
Can I say I like how it says boo beside Tracy?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. All right, Russ, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Chapter 7 we go into, and they're sitting there basically. He's meeting Basilisk, and Basilisk is somewhat explaining
I always call it
the system.
I always call it the basilisk. Because isn't that what they call it in Harry Potter? A basilisk?
Yeah. It's spelled basilisk, isn't it?
Yes.
Wait a minute. How was Tina saying it?
Basilisk. Basilisk.
Close enough.
Right?
She's not putting any R's or anything in it, so that's cool. Or I can take them out, though, isn't it?
Well, that's the funny thing, because when the Boston accent, if there's not an R, you put it in.
Yeah.
So, basilisk, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
Carry on.
Carry on. So yes, we're talking to Mr. Sable Snake.
Oops. Same snake. Okay, now we're going down that path.
I'm telling you, there's something fishy about him or snaky about him.
Well, they did clear him. I don't know if he comes back to haunt him or not.
He's one of the good guys.
Okay.
But he does have a snaky name.
Well, I mean, he is kind of a weasel, but he's a good weasel.
That's it, Rhonda. That's it. Basilisk.
Basilisk.
But no, he's basically explaining the fact that they take on jobs from people and get paid commission in order to Mike.
What's that got to do with
charcuterie? That has to do with her last.
Like the video I put out last night, I couldn't say
okay.
the life of me, and I'm like, guys, it starts with a C, and it's got a food platter in it, and it's something.
There's a meat and cheese, and like I knew it. I'm like charcuterie.
Couldn't pronounce it for the life of me. I was saying charakaroo. I don't know what I was saying, but it wasn't the word. Mike sends me a text message and he spells it right and he's like exclamation point. He's like yelling at me the correct way to say it. Oh my God. Oh, anyways, all right, sorry, back to the book. Oh man.
So he's explaining to them to Bond that basically, you know, they're there and they have intelligence on the royals, the nobles, all the snobbery of Europe.
Yep.
And so
really
the information that he has could potentially, you know, severely help or hurt any family that, you know, contacts them.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically what Blofeld is trying to do is to
buy some noble.
Right. He's trying to basically say that his family is of a noble descent. And there's no way I'm going to be able to, you know, pronounce all the French names and whatever, the German or whatever it was. But he basically wants to be a count.
But isn't that also a way for him to cover up kind of his background? I mean, that's
exactly. That's a way for him to basically
launder himself.
A new cover, and to also give him legal cover within Switzerland. Because if he's a count in Switzerland, then there's ambassadorial or whatever, you know.
Well, he's going to be not a count from Switzerland. He's going to be an account from France.
Exactly.
Because they fled the Normandy area, settled during the his family supposedly had fled France during the Revolution. They hid in Germany, changed their name to Blofeld, so the revolutionary police couldn't find them because they were nobles. And since they were off with their heads on every noble that they could find during the French Revolution, and then they moved from they hid their fortune in Austerlitz and then moved over to Poland years later, where who Blofeld was born in Poland. So, and what's funny about this chapter, and I really wish that Dougie was on, because just the way, you know, that for the first chapter that we were discussing, where Griffin Orr talks about you know, the Scots and their record keeping. Oh, they're great with the war, they're great with the sword, but they suck at record keeping.
Right.
Well, you know, there's always been that English-Scottish thing. They never have really cared for each other much, so. Or so it's. I guess maybe I should put that differently. The English look down at the Scots, and the Scots just want to kick their butts.
So, and now, and they're explaining to him that that Blofeld's trying to hide.
Yeah.
And trying to get.
Well, and then too, if he's able to get his status, he'll also get the money from that.
So
he'll be able to have access to the family fortunes. You know, that are either setting or, you know, that's because that's a way for him to use that money.
And usually because having a noble title also helps him get away with a little bit more of the crazy shit that he's doing.
Exactly.
The what?
The crazy stuff that he's doing. I said it. I apologize.
There's always one for every stream Tracy's on.
Yep, and I don't care. It happens.
So in essence, it kind of gives him like a diplomatic immunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And Basculus even says that he's basically bribed him with 100,000 pounds to make this happen. And and probably if Bond hadn't shown up, he probably would have.
Well, no, I don't think so, because if you listen to or you're reading it, I think he knows it's bunk, because he knows that he's asking for the birth records and or his birth certificate. Yeah, it's gone. We don't know. He was told not to contact Poland. He contacted Poland. Poland's pretty much saying, yeah, no, this is bunk.
Right.
But then when he contacts him back, he says, hey, try to work from the other side and down. So they want to try to move it that way. Is Classy Disney Lady supposed to be on? Is that what you're trying to do? Send her the link?
Yeah, but she's on in here now. She couldn't get into the link, but
she couldn't figure out how to get into the stream again. So.
I think,
sent her a link to the chat, so she's here.
And
we need to help her off stream to where we can get her in. So
and if that doesn't work, then I mean, even with her and us, there's 6 of us. Unless Dougie comes back and join us, that would make 7. We potentially think about going back to StreamYard, because I can have 6, obviously, but we'll try to make this work first.
So you can only have 5 in this, but 6 in StreamYard.
No. I can have 10 in this.
So all you have to do is look at that link that she sent, hover over it, copy, go to a new tab, drop it in there, paste, and go. And it should take you to the.
She's on her iPad, so it's not as easy.
It's not working, yeah.
And remember, go ahead.
So take the link from the messenger, hold it, copy it, open up Safari, and drop it in. Unless this program doesn't work good with
it doesn't work in Safari, because we tried that last week.
We had troubles when I was first testing this out on mobile. Anything that was like tablet or phone, it was.
No wonder I don't understand it. I just speak IBM, so I don't know Mac.
Well, I'm about to say, Classy Disney Lady, we're not talking classy words right now, and
I know that's the other thing.
Did you see what Annie said?
What?
Tracy said, "Watch your mouth, Teresa."
Yeah. It's not Teresa. I'm Tracy. The book person is Teresa.
Hey, Sheree.
Hi, Sheree.
Hey, Sheree. Welcome in. What program am I using, Rhonda? It is Restream.io. And I'm only using it because we pay for it currently, not for much longer. So I'm going to be going back to StreamYard at some point. But I'm using it because it could hold 10 people, and there was a few more people that wanted to join. So anyways, all right. She's gonna keep trying. So hopefully
that's fine.
It's also funny, go back to the book a little bit. These guys in this school, College of Arms, they're
nerds.
They're nerds, yeah. They're nerds, but they know
been doing it for 500 years
on people, and they're getting paid on the side. I mean, they make a salary, but their real money, it sounds to me like their income comes from people like Blofeld trying to pay them to, a little extra on the table to get what they want or to do a good job or whatever. But
and I mean that's like I say, that's until Bond shows up, he may or may not have pushed it through. Who knows? But then they discover that he's really not from this family, and mainly because Bond tells him that because Basilisk says that that family line has a history of having no earlobes.
Yeah.
And that stands out as a thing from their family, that they don't have earlobes,
really
or prominent earlobes. But then Bond basically tells him, well, Blofeld has prominent earlobes.
Ears meant to have lobes. I mean, they don't.
And so he automatically thinks, okay, well then definitely he's not of this family.
Well, see, actually it was Basilisk who with his inquiry to Warsaw on Blofeld's name is what kicked it to the MI5. Because if he had never made that inquiry to Warsaw, the name wouldn't have popped up in discovery of, or just papers of the day. So technically, he did it.
Yeah.
So,
well, he picked up on he remembered after Bond nudged his memory a little bit about the Thunderball incident,
Right.
The atomic bombs and all that Blofeld was
and
involved.
he even Vasquez even says that, hey, I kind of suspected it might be this guy, but again, that's not necessarily his job to deal with it. So he does. So then he and Bond asks, is there a way for me to go and meet Blofeld under the guise of one of your assistants or one of your people to confirm or deny his claims? So they want to set up a meeting. And so now they start trying to come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
welcome in, Francisco. That's fun to say, Francisco.
Okay, why do you have to whisper like that? That is not a good thing. Well, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Oh
What
my
does that
goodness.
do, you mean?
Okay, wait. Well, that. Okay,
You're
that.
just as bad as Jeff. You just don't realize when you're going to say something that is going to be sound clipped later.
You really need to be more careful, Tina.
You know what I've discovered since I'm on these streams? I know exactly when to go to when I go back now. So
Look at her face is as red as her shirt.
Yeah, but you can't quite tell the difference. Okay, folks, in case you're new here, that's what Tina does when she gets too red to be on the screen.
Welcome in, Francisco. That's fun to say, Francisco. And Daniel from This Infinity. Welcome in. I don't know, now that Daniel and Francisco's here, I think Francisco's of age, but now that I know that Daniel's a little bit younger, just this might be a little PG-13, Daniel.
He's 13, so.
And the weird thing is we're in the book, we're sitting in a library.
yeah.
So there's nothing of that in here.
And that's all this place does, right? Is genealogy.
They do genealogy, pretty much. What they do is they look up family trees. They look up trying to connect some of these defunct noble titles to certain people, or try, But they also send up, if I'm not mistaken, they also look up. They hook up some of the pageantry of some things. I think the College of Codes, they make sure that the coat of arms are correct, and things are done correctly for all of that.
But before everything shut down and things at Epcot, at the England Pavilion, the British Pavilion, they have a coat of arms type place there where you can go, and you can basically, they can look up your genealogy, and they can put your story out of your family. We've had it done. My family has, the Stapletons, because the Stapletons actually used to have a castle in Scotland, because we were British and we overthrew.
You're one of those guys.
But then we were, run out of Scotland.
I knew there was something about you.
And so, but that's the thing. The story of your family, especially in Europe, because it dates back so far. That's an important thing.
And it means more to them.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Not everybody could be related to a noble, and it looks like this. Like the first time when Bond walks in, Bond wants to be just a normal James Bond. This first guy, Gryffindor Aura, wants to connect him to a title, and he was like, "Don't you think it's great?" And Bond's like, "Who cares?"
Yeah.
And I guess when you're looking on this side of the pond where we don't have nobles, to us, a common man could be great, or a common man could be dirt. So over there, it's something. And that's why I liked having Dougie for this. And when I watched the first episode, when I can try to get in, him having the United Kingdom, the Scotland, England, and thought process behind it is interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the end of chapter 7.
So now we're back to chapter 4.
I've just run out of words at this point.
Well,
chapter 8.
I'm going to keep going.
So
chapter 8. We're now back.
Hold on. I think Tim has a question.
Well, no, I was just going to comment on Sir Hilary Bray there, since we're going into chapter 8, and
yeah,
don't you? It's kind of funny because the character they depict in this movie for this he's real, what I might call a popinjay, or he's just really not Bond like.
Oh yeah,
that way. He now, and in the book, it kind of sounds like he's leaning that way too. But I mean, I was trying to pick up that, at least in my mind's eye, that's what I was seeing. This fancy guy that's more home in the library, but supposedly he spent all his time out wandering the moors and looking for birds and stuff, according to the snake guy.
Right. Yeah, he's more of a recluse, and more, he's just kind of odd, I guess, if you would say, or he's I don't know. He'd rather be by himself and do his own thing, and he's unassuming, and nobody cares who he is, basically. And nobody would know who he is, because he's just normal, that nothing makes him stand out. But yeah, so Bond is now back in
Shelley,
in M's office. See you later, Shelley. Bond's now back in M's office, and he's going over the report and the plan. And this is where we hear kind of M's character.
Yeah.
To where M is not a nice guy, and he doesn't really care, and he kind of hates Bond. And
I've been trying to figure that out for a long time, and it in the book, this book, at least, it sort of comes out that way more. In the movies, you never could tell. I mean, one minute he seemed to be respectful of Bond and thought highly of, and then other times it was like this book. He didn't seem to care for him at all.
I think for the movies especially, he does not approve of Bond's methods, but he approves of his results.
I mean, after all, he is licensed to kill, probably by M.
Well, he is, and I mean, he is a double O. But M, they have to clean up his messes more often.
Yeah. Well,
so that's the thing, is the amount of stuff that they have to cover up in order to keep their operations safe.
No, that's true.
Because Bond is just going in willy-nilly. So,
yeah.
But in this case, it seems like Bond he's more focused, because he wants Blofeld. He wants to be Blofeld.
And Glenn, no, chapter 8 is not the romantic one.
No, it's not.
And I can't believe that you think chapter 4 is romantic. I don't think chapter 4 is romantic at all. I think chapter 4 is more dirty.
Whoa.
Well, wait a minute.
He was afraid you were going to use a different word.
I get nothing. All right, fine, you win. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Well,
I mean, I didn't mind reading chapter 4.
I mean, who did?
Well, after the third or fourth time, though, didn't it get kind of old?
Well, I read that chapter 4 like 3 or 4 times just to understand what was going on. Okay. And I read it back a couple more times just to, hey, I read it.
Research.
That's right. That's right, Tim.
Tim also thought this was going to be a mess. I mean, he looked at it, and it's sort of a haphazard way to try to get through somebody.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, like you said, they invented the cover. Or they
put that book away, Tracy. Put that book away. We don't want any of that around here. Nobody needs ideas like that. I'm just starting to get back on my feet here. I don't want to be late again.
I distracted everybody.
Anyway. Bond is going to assume the identity of Sir Hilary Bray, and he has to go back to school.
Well, I think M doesn't like the fact that he's taking on the Sir Hilary Bray moniker, because even though he looks like he was knighted, if I'm not mistaken, M was knighted, and he doesn't care for these titles. He's like, he doesn't want that notoriety, and I think that's the problem. Is in this line of work, you really don't need the notoriety.
Yeah. Well, and then too, I mean, if there are repercussions, then obviously that affects, Sir Bray, and that also affects everyone else because then his cover's blown. And M is somewhat, like, well, can you pull this off? And because he's obviously doesn't fit the part of the genealogist, and so, but that's where I say Bond has to go back to school basically to learn, and it takes him what I think it said like 2 or 3 months that he's just every day working on trying to like memorize Blofeld's family tree.
Yeah, but isn't that more because it's taken Basilisk that long to work him into the mix?
Well, it is. I mean, because there's just so much information that
Did you mute me?
No.
I know I didn't mute myself.
What?
I might have.
Did anybody notice they mentioned Walt Disney in this?
Yes,
I did.
Bring that up.
They did.
I highlighted it.
They sure did.
Because that was one of the families that he was,
Had researched.
It's also taken time because they knew exactly, like when they were talking about putting this plan together, they had to make an ironclad document and a personnel file for 007 to play Sir Henry Bray, because if they didn't, because now it's back and forth. They wanted them to know who Henry Bray was. Let me see a photo of Henry Bray. So
all the lawyers are asking questions.
Correct. So they Blofeld wants to make sure that it's a legit thing. And thinking back to the chapter before we just left, I mean, Basilisk pretty much tells Bond, some of these rich industrialist people, when they think that they're going to be a noble, they act stupid all the time. So here we are.
Anything to make it happen.
Exactly what's happening in here. Blofeld's acting stupid. He is smart, but he's acting stupid because he wants this noble title.
Yeah, I think he probably believes it's getting close now. If he can just get this last step, he can have what he's looking for and what he gets, and they get more and more stupid as closer they get to that. I think is what he was saying. And
at least that's what they're hoping.
Let's just guard down just enough.
Yeah, they're trying to hook him, and I like the fact that Blofeld
and sinker.
What's that?
They hooked him in, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, that's what he says. And I thought it was funny that Blofeld basically sets a time and a date and a meeting, and Bond says, "Tell him no, that doesn't work for me."
Yeah,
but I can do it this time. I can do it this time instead. But again, it helps make his story more legitimate,
and that message back is pretty much tells them that Blofeld's very arrogant enough, and he's let his guard down enough to realize that he doesn't realize that this could be a trap. He wants this Baroness or this Baron title so bad.
Yeah. So then they decide that, okay, well, now that we've got the meeting set, we have what's our operation going to be, to where they basically decide that there is to be no outside communication between Bond and MI5. All communication has to go through Basilisk so that it looks legit. He cannot take any kind of weapons or gadgets with him in the case that he's searched and they find something. And they create a whole new operation. They call it Corona, which is kind of fitting at the moment. But they come up with a whole new operation, and it's a secret file. They close the old file on Blofeld, like the case is closed, so that to Blofeld it might seem, with his contacts in the case there's a mole, that doesn't get back to him, and they come up with this new secret operation, and prepare. And so of course, he and M had discussed whether or not they should do this as a snatch and grab, or they should do it as a commando thing, or but this was the best possible situation they could think of, I guess. And so now they're preparing for the operation, for the op, and Bond goes back to his office, going through files again some more, just to look over last minute things, to pack things up. Of course, Goodnight's there, and she's concerned for him.
And isn't she like running? No, what is she doing? She's running through everything that he needs to pack. And she pretty much packs him up.
she's getting things ready from his office standpoint, and then helping him remember, did you pack this or do you have this? And so she's concerned for his operation that whether or not, because she didn't want him to get caught. And I think that there's a little bit of attraction there as well.
Yeah.
His mind keeps going to Tracy, though. I don't want to be Teresa. And so he's got tunnel vision.
Well, they know these guys are with Spectre, which they know their history, and I mean, they know they're dangerous. Plus, they don't know where all they, like you were saying, spies or moles or people inside their own organization that could be attached to Spectre. So they're trying to be really careful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he goes back and he's basically. Then he talks, he's talking about that. Yeah, he's thinking about Tracy.
Teresa,
whatever.
About Teresa.
And that he discovers that he's going to have close proximity to her when he goes to Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which immediately throws a red flag in my head. We're sitting here talking about how you're supposed to be secretive and you're supposed to be Sir Hilary Bray, and now you're thinking about putting Teresa into it. And
she's in Switzerland, right?
Well, or I think she's near.
She is.
I think she's in. I can't remember where she's at. Yeah,
she's in Switzerland. She's getting help in Switzerland.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he thinks about, okay, well, she's going to be there. Now might be the time to rekindle that relationship because I'll be there. And they've been sending letters back and forth. So again, this is where you see. What's Bond's priority going to be is the question.
Right.
Is it going to be Blofeld or is it going to be Teresa?
Well, I think ultimately, I think he's going to mix it, and it's. I mean, I can't even remember watching this movie because it's been a long time. But yeah, I think this is where you're going to see that muddling, and I think what happens to his wife if he does marry Teresa, what happens is because of whatever everything else goes on.
Yes.
I can't wait to the next couple chapters. These 3 chapters were a little bit boring. I mean, a lot of backstory. But then again, some of the older books, you're just so used to it. But then again, you read Stephen King.
We've all seen the movies.
If you read a Stephen King novel, though, he'll go on for about 14 pages on something really like off the wall. So, I mean, it's just the way that they are.
Well,
not every one of them could be as a literary.
I can't say it.
Literary genius like Harry Potter.
I enjoyed the last paragraph, especially.
That he got drunk and went to bed?
About this.
Yeah.
Basically, he took a taxi home. He went to pack. He got drunk, ate a large meal, went to bed, and basically was up for the next morning and basically after that, he's basically wiped his feelings and he's ready for the operation.
Which seems really un-Bond-like to me because, he's a guy that, although he has his vodka martinis, you never see him impaired.
Mm-hmm.
You never think of him not being prepared for something.
Yeah.
Well, I think he feels comfortable. He's in his own flat.
I guess so.
He's in his own flat. He's not on assignment. I don't think even when he's on assignment, when you go back to when he was at the casino, he was having a good time. He wasn't on assignment. He was thinking about quitting. Mm-hmm. So, but I can't wait to see what comes up.
Me too.
Yes, Garrett, just so you understand, Tracy likes to bring up misery because I've been down for about 6 months and he keeps trying to get my wife to break my ankle so I'll stay down longer.
He just
or maybe he thinks that's what already happened. I'm not sure which.
Either way. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, we will do chapters 9, 10, and 11.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless it gets steamy after 11, I'm going right to 12.
Me too.
I would expect nothing less from you, not Teresa.
Not Teresa.
Carlos is up at 4 o'clock, guys, with the British invasion. Make sure you go check him out, Disney World Freak. All right, guys, what do you have coming up? Chris, we'll start with you.
I'm joining somebody Friday at 2 for some sort of Bernie meme thing. So
Oh,
there's that. And then Rob Fuzz's birthday, Friday.
Sweet.
at 3.
That's it for now.
Yeah. Tracy, how about you?
Tomorrow I'm going to go live at 5 o'clock because I will be working on Thursday from my regular 4 o'clock show. So me and Tina switched hours. So I'm going to go live from 5 to 6 tomorrow, and Tina's going to go live 4 to 5 on Thursday. I am going to do a Lego. Well, I'm going to aggravate Kenzie while she tries to build a Lego Boba Fett head.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
Nice.
It's pretty much when I do a Lego build, it's just me aggravating Kenzie. And then on Friday at 5 o'clock, we have family pizza night. And Sunday on Kenzie Days' channel, we have WandaVision episode 4 for Nerd Talk.
Nice. All the things. Tim, how about you? You started a new show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Coffee with toilet paper.
Yeah. Well, we're working. We changed that, Tracy.
I know. I'm
Not
sorry.
Teresa. Well, I've been called TP for years at work, but I never thought about it being toilet paper until you came along. Yeah, if there's nobody else doing coffee Saturday, I'll be filling in there again. Lynn and Triple P used to do coffee and contemplation, and they've been too busy, so I started doing something on Saturday mornings for that. And I'm working on this Lego kit I'm putting together to do another video. I've got some time lapse streams I want to try to figure out how to put online. So if I get that figured out, I'll be doing that. But that's about it for right now.
Sweet. Russ, how about you?
Saturday at 3 will be another cricket stream. We're making stickers, showing everybody how to make those with Meg, and then whoever else wants to join. So if you have a cricket and you're interested, then just send me a message, and we'll get you a link to join us. Or you can come and ask questions and figure out what we're doing. So, but that's it at the moment, I believe. So, yeah.
Nice. And so like Tracy said, he is going live at 5 o'clock tomorrow, which is my normal time slot, and I will be going live Thursday at 4 o'clock. In his normal time slot, I don't know what we're doing yet. It's going to be interesting, I'm sure. Then Friday's a busy day, guys. 2 o'clock, we got a stream with my buddy Chris down below and my girl Kelly from the Mickey Bunch. We're going to be talking about our favorite Bernie memes. There may or may not be some originals. We'll see. And 3 o'clock, Rob Fuzz's birthday stream. It is his birthday, and I'm very excited to go and celebrate with him. And then at 9 o'clock, I will be on with Monarch Moments, and we will be cooking something, and I don't know what yet. So, last I heard, Michelle wanted to try to case sausages.
Oh, good Lord.
Mint what?
Case sausages. She wants to stuff the sausage. That's what she wants to do.
It is, oh, that's a soundbite.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't involve sharp instruments, she may be okay.
I don't know. We're going to see. Nothing's decided yet. She just mentioned it, and I just thought it was hilarious because I've never done it before, and I could only imagine what the outcome would be. So check out all that stuff. And then we'll be back Tuesday for another episode of Book Club. Hope you guys enjoyed our discussion. And
I know I did.
Yep. And have a great night. And I'm completely just going to end the stream now. Bye, guys.